The leaves crunched under Sarah's feet. The air was crisp and cool. It was a perfect autumn morning in New England. Sarah was at her grandparents' old farmhouse. She was helping her parents clean. The farmhouse was filled with memories. Sarah loved exploring its dusty corners. She found treasures from the past. One room still had her grandparents' belongings. Sarah found a wooden drawer. It was tucked under a dusty old bed. The drawer was heavy and ornate. It smelled like old wood and forgotten things. Curiosity bubbled inside Sarah. She carefully opened the drawer. Inside, nestled amongst yellowed photographs and letters, lay a single unopened envelope. The envelope was addressed in elegant handwriting. The ink was faded, but Sarah could make out the name Ethan. It was her grandfather's name. The letter had never been opened. It felt heavy in Sarah's hand. It was like it held a secret. A shiver ran down her spine. Sarah felt a sudden urge to know what it said. She carefully peeled back the flap. The letter inside was dated decades ago. It was from a woman named Emily. Sarah's heart skipped a beat. She had never heard of this woman before. Who was Emily? Why had her grandfather never mentioned her? And why was her letter hidden away in this drawer? Sarah began to read. The words were filled with longing and regret. Emily wrote about a summer she spent with Ethan. They had fallen deeply in love. Emily's words painted a picture of a passionate romance. They shared secret rendezvous and stolen kisses. But their happiness was short-lived. Their families were rivals. They forbade Emily and Ethan from seeing each other. Sarah's mind raced. She had never imagined her grandfather as a young man in love. He was always so serious and reserved. The letter revealed a hidden side of him. The letter ended abruptly. Emily wrote of a final meeting, a promise made, then silence. Sarah was left with more questions than answers. Fueled by curiosity, Sarah delved deeper into her grandparents' past. She searched through old photo albums and letters. She pieced together fragments of a forbidden love story. She discovered that Ethan and Emily had continued to meet in secret. They exchanged letters filled with longing and despair. Their families remained oblivious to their secret affair. Sarah found a photograph of Emily. She was stunningly beautiful, with long flowing hair and kind eyes. Sarah felt a connection to this woman she had never met. The more Sarah learned, the more she admired Emily's courage. She had defied her family for love, but what had happened to them? Why did their love story remain a secret? Section 5. The Shocking Truth. As Sarah read on, the truth unraveled with the force of a hurricane. Emily had not abandoned Ethan. She had become pregnant with his child. Her family, determined to separate them, had sent her away. Ethan never knew about the baby. He was heartbroken by Emily's sudden disappearance. He eventually moved on, married Sarah's grandmother, and had a family of his own. Sarah's world tilted on its axis. Her grandfather, the man she thought she knew, had fathered a child with another woman, a child he never knew existed. The secret had been buried for decades. Now it threatened to unravel everything Sarah thought she knew about her family. Armed with this newfound knowledge, Sarah became determined to find out what happened to Emily and her child. She scoured through online records and historical archives. Her search led her to a small town hundreds of miles away. It was there, according to a birth certificate, that Emily had given birth to a baby girl. Sarah's heart pounded. Could this child still be alive? Could she have cousins out there who never knew about their father's side of the family? With a mix of trepidation and excitement, Sarah decided to follow this new lead. She had to know the truth, no matter how painful it might be. Sarah's investigation led her to a woman named Claire. Claire was Emily's niece. She had inherited Emily's letters and photographs. She knew the story of Ethan and Emily's forbidden love. Claire revealed that Emily had never stopped loving Ethan. She had named her daughter Lily after Ethan's favorite flower. But Emily had kept her promise to stay away. Sarah learned that her grandfather had tried to find Emily, but her family had covered their tracks well. he never came close to discovering the truth. The weight of the secret hung heavy in the air. Two families, forever linked by a past they never knew. As Sarah listened to Claire, a wave of sadness washed over her. Her grandfather had lived a lie, burdened by a secret that was not his to bear. But Sarah also felt a surge of compassion. She understood the impossible choices her grandfather had faced, the love he had lost. Sarah decided to tell her parents everything. It was a difficult conversation, filled with tears and anger, but in the end they understood. The truth had set them free. The discovery of Emily's letter changed Sarah's life. She learned that families are complex. Secrets can bind us and tear us apart. Sarah embraced her family's history, flaws and all. She vowed to learn from the past and to live a life filled with honesty and love. The Forgotten Letter had served its purpose. It had brought a family secret to light, and in doing so it had brought Sarah closer to her own family and to the truth of who she was.